Hey guys, Fable Dan here. Welcome back to part 7 of our art journey. It kind of blows my mind that we've only done this for a few weeks, but we're already on to the 7th episode. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys to those who have subscribed, liked, or commented. I really enjoy the support. I appreciate that people are really into seeing this art journey. So thank you guys. So this week, we're doing something a bit different than what we're usually doing. A big part of this series is for me just to kind of test out different things, both artistically and for the video side of things. You know, kind of building up myself a schedule or a routine schedule for creating and uploading to YouTube while balancing out my work life, my personal life, that kind of stuff. So this week, I actually have a vacation coming up. I'm not going to say when or where or whatever. Don't worry, it's not going to interfere with my upload times that much. It might change around the hours a bit, which I'm pretty sure YouTube is not a big fan of, but that's okay. But the same upload schedule of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is still going to be good for us this week, you know. And obviously Fridays we're going to be still uploading our short series that we've been doing on the channel for a while now. But right, so I'm getting a bit off topic. What I'm doing is that normally when I made these videos, I would take Monday to do the rough sketch, Tuesday I would upload the video, Wednesday I'd do the line art, Thursday I'll upload the video, Friday I'll do the coloring, Saturday I'll upload the video. Well, instead, because, you know, I have this trip coming up and I also have things to do like studying, I'm instead doing the entire art project Monday, and then I'm going to be breaking it up. So like Monday I'm doing the entire art project, today I'm doing the audio recording for Tuesday's video, which is today's video, and Thursday's video. Then I'm going to be doing a time-lapse for Friday's video, because if you remember from last week's video, I was talking about how I want to kind of implement some time-lapse videos into all this. So yeah, I think I kind of talked myself in a kind of circular manner just there. But essentially, I'm taking all the work that I usually do, and I'm pushing it to these 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, just to see how it goes. And I am learning some interesting things because of this. The first thing I was learning is that the work I typically did for my 2 channels that usually took a week to do, I'm finding that it's possible for me to do it in 1 day, but there is kind of a trade-off to that. I could do it in like 1 to 3 days, but then I can't do a lot of personal stuff those days. Like Monday was all primarily working on the video. Granted, that wasn't the only thing I was doing, but it was a big part of my Monday was just working on my short and completing the shorts for Friday. Working on the main channel's video and basically having that done by the end of today. Working on this series, getting the entire art project done Monday, and adding the final touches here. Also, quick side note, like I've talked about, I'm not the best when it comes to talking straight up from my mind, like stream of consciousness, so that's why things might sound a bit awkward. That is a ongoing skill that I'm trying to build with this series as well. You know, returning viewers would probably know this because I've talked about it a few times, but I'm just saying this for newer listeners, newer people who want to watch. But yeah, so I kind of lost my train of thought. So yeah, the work that I was able to kind of spread out in a week can actually get done within 2 to 3 days, with the caveat that I wouldn't be able to do much else those 2 to 3 days. Which isn't that great when, you know, again, I gotta study, I want to spend time with my family, and that's not to say that I couldn't completely do anything. Like, Monday, I was spending time with my family, watching One Piece, actually. I've watched One Piece before, but I was actually showing someone else the series, and I think we got to watch, like, maybe 3 to 4 hours of it, so, like, that's a decent chunk to kind of spend time with someone, but, like, you know, I personally don't think I'm going to be doing this as much, where I would really kind of focus on the one specific day. Like, I definitely think it's a skill set to build, being able to kind of move things around schedule-wise, because if something comes up, you know, some weeks I might just have only one day where I can work on everything I want, whereas in future other weeks, you know, I might be able to spread it out more. So I am grateful that I can kind of test it out here, see like how would this work if there is ever a time crunch. I personally don't think that that would be the default that I do. I personally like spreading it out a bit more, because you need to have that like work-life balance. And I feel like if every week I was just picking like, let's say Saturday or Monday to do all my workout for both of my YouTube channels, I think I would get burnt out and it would become a lot less fun. So talking a bit about the art piece, I wanted to talk more about the art piece this video compared to like how I was in prior videos, but I kind of went off on tangent again, and I like to keep these around 6 to 8 minutes. But yeah, this art piece, I am just kind of messing around with drawing characters. As you can tell as I'm drawing, there isn't really a consistency in the face. It's all supposed to be the same character, but they don't look similar enough where like there's like consistency in the art. So that's something I want to work on. So I was like, hey, why not make an art piece to do that, right? To practice to that, right? It's not going to be good right now, but it's not going to get better if I don't try, you know? For the inspiration of this art, primarily the main image, like the main face that you're going to be seeing at kind of the center of the page, that was actually inspired by Luffy from One Piece. As I mentioned earlier, I'm rewatching One Piece again, and, you know, I forgot how much I just love the character. So I kind of drew I don't want to say homage, because again, this character is going to be very different. When you see him in the next video, I actually kind of changed the color around, changed the hairstyle around, that kind of stuff. But I wanted to kind of take some inspiration from that, because I do think that I just love the idea of like the super huge grin that Luffy kind of shows off. Like it kind of bleeds, like it kind of gives off just like pure optimism. So, you know, I'm not doing like Luffy's smile per se, I'm doing more of an open mouth shot, but I don't know, I just find it's really fun. I take a lot of inspiration, my art specifically, from, you know, anime and cartoons, specifically like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, for like kind of Japanese art. But I also really like the Looney Tunes, I like Mickey Mouse, I like those kind of stuff. SpongeBob is another one. So, you know, I very much like the Toon Force and the shonen anime kind of look. When drawing horror, I'm a huge fan of like Junji Ito. And yeah, I think that's all the time I'm gonna have, because again, I'm a bit on a time crunch, so, you know, I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched to the end, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And specifically, if you can comment down, you know, just how you're doing, you know, what kind of art projects you're doing. I mentioned this before, I'm not going to allow links just because I think YouTube's a bit weird about that, and, you know, I think once the floodgate for links is opened in the comment section, that can lead to, like, bot scams and stuff, so I think it's just easier for me not to allow that. But I would still love to hear, like, if you're doing anything on your end, whether it's for your channel, if it's for art, or just kind of your own kind of side hobbies. That'd be really awesome here. And yeah, again, this is FableDan, and I'll see you all next time.